let forest fires be your fault. Make sure your fire is dead out. Remember, only you can prevent forest fires.
Smokey the Bear's long-standing message that only you can prevent forest fires emphasized the dangers of wildfires. But what if Smokey was wrong? The Grand Bay National Estuarine Research Reserve, or NER for short, is about 30 miles southwest of Mobile, Alabama, and along the Gulf of Mexico. The majority of the land is home to the longleaf pine savanna ecosystem. The landscape is characterized by the titular longleaf pine, which stretches up to 120 feet above sandy soil, with the wide space between the trees covered in dense undergrowth. Among its many characteristics, this ecosystem is most known for being fire-dependent. The longleaf pine savanna evolved to thrive when exposed to a natural fire every 2 or 3 years. As colonists established settlements along the southeast U.S., they suppressed the ecosystem's expected high-frequency, low-intensity fires. 400 years later, only 3 to 5% of the longleaf pine savanna's original range survives. A well-accepted solution to this problem is the use of prescribed burns. The Grand Bay NER faces opposition to prescribed burns, as much of the longleaf pine savanna is within privately held in-holdings. This opposition leads to delays in the highly regulated burn plans, which are created months in advance. When delays occur, the window can be missed entirely. Our project seeks to raise support for the use of prescribed burns. In order to highlight the positive benefits of prescribed burns, we wanted to use some of the aspect of the fire itself as a material in our design. We wanted to transform the ashes and charcoal of the prescribed burns into something that anyone could connect with. So we decided to create charcoal ink by mixing charcoal from the prescribed burns with linseed oil. This process is labor-intensive, and that's the point. Ink made from natural materials is more meaningful than ink purchased from Amazon or a national art supply chain. Each batch of ink is varied. It will never be exactly the same. We imagine that Grand Bay ink could be shared with friends and family in the local community after each prescribed burn. It could even be a keepsake sold at the Grand Bay Reserve Info Center to help support their mission. We didn't want to have something flat and fixed on the wall, so we decided to create an informational display that incorporated our Grand Bay ink. The audience could create their own woodblock prints out of a pine tree slice while using our very own Grand Bay ink. The prints made from these stamps will then be placed on a wall. By the end of the installation's runtime, a forest of prints is created. From the Ashes highlights a prescribed burn's role in creation. Visitors engage with this process firsthand, leaving with a memorable connection to prescribed burns. This experience helps in cementing the relationship between burns and their positive outcomes. This knowledge bolsters support for the use of prescribed burns by organizations such as Grand Bay NER in their efforts to preserve the longleaf pine savanna.